Okay, this is an example of exponential equations. Remember, in this case, you have only done the indices laws, okay? And when we solve these with the indices laws, then obviously you must know all your index laws to apply. But secondly, important here is that x will always be the index, all right, and therefore you must get the same basis. The basis must be the same. So if you look at the first one, which is 100, you must get this 100 into the base 10. Okay, so if you now factorize a 100, then you will get 1 over 10 to the power of 2. Right, and now your negative index law counts. Okay, your negative index law says if you have a whole number with a negative index, it becomes a fraction with a positive index. And the other way around, if you have a fraction with a negative index, it becomes a whole number with a positive index. Okay, so if you look at this one, then we can make that now a whole number with a negative index. So 10 to the power of x equals 10 to the power of negative 2. And then remember with this one, as soon as your base is the same, you can basically ignore them, right? Because we said if a to the power of x equals a to the power of y, then x equals y. So in this case, x equals negative 2. Oh, sorry. Right, then in the second question B, that is exactly the same. You must factorize the 27. Okay, use your calculator. I hope you got the new one. So this one becomes 1 over 3 to the power of 3, and that you then make a whole number with a negative index. Okay, then negative x equals negative 3, because you can basically ignore the basis. All right, and then negative x equals negative 3. We never express that as a negative, so multiply the whole thing by negative 1, then this becomes x equals positive 3. All right, then the next example, now be careful, this is a 4, okay, and this is a 2, so that one must be factorized. 4 can be factorized as 2 to the power of 2, okay, and that you must multiply by negative x, right, 1 over 2. So that is a power times a power to a power, so we multiply the index, which becomes 1 over 2 to the power of negative 2x equals 1 over 2. All right, now we apply the negative index law. So this one now becomes a whole number with a positive index, and the half becomes a whole number with a negative index. Okay, and then 2x equals negative 1, because we've got the same base, we can basically cancel that, and then x equals negative 1/2. Oh, sorry, it's a little bit squeezed in. Okay, if you look at question 2a, question 2a is 5 to the power of x equals 0.04. If you press 0.04 into your calculator and you press equal, okay, let me just quickly show you. If you press 0.04 and you press equal, it will give you a fraction. And if it doesn't, then use the conversion key, okay? It's this one, or in the Casio, it is the one where you have fractions, okay? Just try your calculator. So it gives you 5 to the power of x equals 1/25. Okay, and then once again 5 needs to be changed into its prime factors, right? You must get a base of 5, so that then becomes 5 squared. And now you apply the law of the negative indices or the fractions. Okay, this is a fraction, so it becomes a whole number with a negative index. And then 5 to the power of x equals 5 to the power of -2. Again, basically we can ignore our bases and we can say that the indices are the same. So x equals -2. And then question C, let me just quickly write that also. Question C, 5 to the power of 2x minus 1 equals 0.008. So once again now, you can place that into your calculator, and an equal, it will then give you a fraction, which is 1/125. Okay, now you must actually get this into a base of 5, all right? So you must factorize that, which gives me 1/5 to the power of 3, all right? And then we apply the negative index law again. So this becomes a whole number with a negative index. So 5 to the power of 2x minus 1 equals 5 to the power of -3. Right, now is your base again the same, so basically you can ignore this, and then you make 2x minus 1 equals -3, and then we do Gauss okay. First bring the -1 over, so that becomes -2, and then divide by 2, so x becomes -1. Okay, I hope it helps you.